my channel. This is Beulah Speaks. If you're a first time viewer, thank you for joining me today. If you're a returning subscriber, you know I love you. Thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. So today, I have a very important person on my show today. His name is Ode Deo. He's a brand strategist. He's the CEO of Staneandstones. He's also the convener of Brand Right. It's a startup academy. Sorry, it's an academy for startups. So if you are a startup brand and you're looking for to learn one or two things about branding, he's the guy for you. So before we delve into everything, I'd like to say one or two things. I learned one or two things from being around him and just listening to him speak. And honestly, it has done so much for my brand. So you see, if you like this brand here, you have him to thank. So today, I'm just really super excited about having this conversation with him because I know that there are a lot of startups in Nigeria, and beyond just coming out to sell the products, there's so much more than just selling the product. So that's what he's here for, to answer all your questions about branding. Thank you so much to you for coming on my show. I'm really grateful for this
Thank you
privilege.
for having me. This is such a rare privilege and don't take for granted.
Thank you so much. So I know that my viewers are itching to get to know you. So I'll just let you introduce yourself and just say a couple of things about yourself if you would. Right.
Okay, my name is Dio Ode. Like she rightfully said, like the principal consultant in Stains and Stones. It's a brand and marketing communications company, and also the convener of Brand Rights, the branding academy for startups. I think my passion is derived from helping people discover their original story and build unique narratives for them and help them tell their stories in the most compelling ways that resonate with their target audience that will convert them from not just prospects but to paying customers.
That's amazing. I don't know if you were listening, but I was actually listening. Even though that I was on the show, I would have been writing. Honestly, this is really important. I like how he said he helps them tell their unique stories. So let me not speak for him. Let me let him speak for himself. So Dio has worked with some very prominent organizations in Nigeria, even personal branding. So branding doesn't just end with organizations. Even as a person, you want a particular perception or story being told about you. You can be branded, So he has worked with several people. He has worked with the Nigerian Rugby League. He has worked with food and health communications. Just to mention two, I don't want to blow his hands too much. He's a very humble person. So today, the first and most important question that I'd like to ask you is, what is branding?
Okay. Okay, from my school of thought, I actually believe for you to fully understand the concept, you first of all need to understand what it's not
Okay.
before you could clearly understand what it is. I think there are some few myths about branding that to the layman, that's what he understands. If there's someone what you want to brand, first of all, the person begin to think about logo design
Okay.
and stuff. You're not wrong per se, but that's not all to it. That's not all to it. First of all, a brand is not a logo. A brand is not just good packaging. A brand is not just design. A brand is not just a product. Those are actually parts to it. So what is a brand? There's what's a brand and there's what's branding. Branding
Okay.
is the process of building a brand.
Okay.
So a brand basically is that gut feeling people have about you.
Mm.
What I feel about you is your brand. So a brand is not necessarily what you say it is.
Okay.
It's what they say it is.
Oh, that's amazing.
So you discover that what you own as a business person, as a startup, as a manufacturer, as a personal brand, what you own you don't own your brand.
Okay.
You own the product
All right.
or the offering.
Okay.
The consumers own the brand.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's what they feel about you. So you could make a delivery, make an offering, say this is who you are, but in actual fact, what they feel about you is your brand.
Oh,
If I go out and I take a survey, for instance, of a personal brand, the Jizani brand,
okay.
Jizani Otutu brand,
Okay.
and I get and sample several opinions about you,
Yeah.
the common opinion about you is your brand.
Oh, okay.
So you own the product,
All right.
but the consumer owns the brand.
Oh, okay. I like how he said that. I don't think I've ever seen branding in that light before now. So let me just reiterate. Now, what he's telling me and you is that branding is not what you say it is. You can write on your bio, this is a multinational, international, we give you service, top notch, this, that, that. But if that's not what your clients, if that's not what customers are saying about you, if that's not what people perceive about your brand, that's not what your brand is. So if your brand is not credible and you claim it is credible, it is not credible. So what your brand is what majority of people perceive it to be, and that's really important because the question is, how do you tailor perception? Because I want to believe that branding has something to do with tailoring perception.
Okay. Okay, this is it. I said you have an opinion of yourself,
True.
and this is who you are. The truth is, um, everybody owns a brand.
Okay.
Everybody owns a brand. Whether you're intentional about it, you're not intentional about it.
All right.
When you're not intentional about it, it you have no control over it,
Okay.
and people perceive you the way you are.
All right.
And a lot of times you may not even know what people perceive you to be.
True.
So, like I said, the consumer owns the brand, you own the product.
Okay.
As a personal brand, you are the product.
Oh, true.
So you could actually project what people want to, how you want people to perceive you or to feel about you. But
Okay.
to describe you in three adjectives, who will I describe you to be?
Okay.
Maybe bold, beautiful,
Yeah.
confident.
Yeah. Thank you.
Person wants to be perceived in a particular light.
All right.
And so I don't believe you can 100% own your brand to 100%.
Okay.
But the difference between who you say you are and who people perceive you to be should be very, very minimal.
Granted.
Yes,
I agree
granted.
with that. Yeah.
Yes. So I think, first of all, to manage perception, you need to be intentional.
Okay.
You need to be intentional.
Intentionality. Okay.
Intentionality, which has to do with strategy.
Strategy. Okay.
Strategy. So there's what's called brand strategy.
Okay.
Brand strategy deals with the intangibles of your brand.
Okay.
Who are you, for instance?
Mm-hmm.
What is your personal brand philosophy? What are
Okay.
your values? What's your mission? What's
Wow.
your vision? What do you do?
Wow. Can you please? Wow. Who are you? What's your personal brand philosophy?
Okay.
What's your mission? What's your vision? What do you do?
What's your value? What
What's
are
your
your
value?
values?
Okay. Okay.
So it needs to be clear. It needs to be
Amazing.
defined. That's where intentionality starts from.
Okay.
So the branding process doesn't start from without within. It starts from within without.
Without. Oh, I see.
So you don't start from the tangibles to the intangibles. You start from the intangibles.
Wow.
Because the tangibles are just the tip of the iceberg. If you see an iceberg, the bulk part of the iceberg is below water.
Yeah. True.
So you can't see it. So the real substance of your brand can't be really seen. They could only see the tangible part, which is a reflection of what
Goes
is
on
not seen.
underneath. Yeah, I
Yes.
get that.
So in perception management, first of all, you need to be intentional about your brand strategy.
Okay.
Brand strategy comes first
Okay.
before you begin to translate the strategy into design,
Okay.
into symbols, so that's
Okay.
your logo,
Yeah.
into communication,
Amazing. Wow.
into your PR, into your culture and stuff.
Oh, that's amazing.
So in perception management, strategy, being intentional about strategy.
Okay. Wow, this is amazing. I don't know if you guys have been watching me, but I've been taking notes because 2021, my brand story is about to change. See, let me just give you a couple of highlights of the things that I just heard while he was speaking. He said your brand has a lot to do with what goes on inside. So it's not about how beautiful your logo is per se.
Yeah.
It's not about how fancy your brand tagline is. We are the movers and shakers. We deliver, we meet deadline. No, that's not really what it's about. The thing is, what is the value that drives your brand? Why do you do what you do? What is your mission? What's your vision? Let me say, for example, you have a brand that, let me say, you own a spa. What is the reason why you do? Because there are a million and one spas in Nigeria. Let's just use Nigeria for example. So what makes yours unique is the reason why you do what you do.
Yeah.
So if you're not able to tell yourself or understand the reason why you do what you do, you'll just be like a regular spa out there.
Yeah.
That's the truth. And hearing all of these things just really reminds me about how value is very important because your value translates into your product.
Yeah.
It is your value that will make you not give out a substandard product.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the truth is that if your value is not projected, if it's not something that you already recognize and you decide to stand by it and say, okay, that's what they call. I think I can't remember what it's called in ah
Branding.
Yeah, but there's a word for it, quality assurance, I mean something like that.
Yeah.
To ensure that all the products that go out have the same
Yeah.
quality as the original one. So honestly, I'm learning a lot as I'm listening to him. My mind is working and connecting to big brands and seeing how they actually work to ensure that. Let me use Coca-Cola for example. You can't drink Coca-Cola here in Abuja and go to Lagos and then it tastes different.
Yes.
It's one taste.
One taste.
So the value that they give is the same everywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't depreciate over time.
Yeah.
And that's just really amazing, honestly. That's why it feels like Coca-Cola is addictive. You're addicted to the quality that they actually dish out.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is really amazing.
Yeah.
I'm actually really loving this. Amazing. Okay. Okay. We have been told what branding is and what it is not. So the next question that I'd like you to answer is, why should I brand my business? Because, well, okay, I've heard all these fancy things you have said about branding, but well, the man at the corner has a business is running, the other guy has a business is running. So, some people don't know Jack. Even people are in Alaba market and in all the markets, they don't know anything about branding, but they do have a business that they run day to day. So, why is branding important in the 21st century, in this day and time?
Okay, that's a very, very bad design. I must confess, your energy is very contagious.
Thank
I like
you.
your vibe. You have a very positive vibe.
Thank
I
you.
think
Thank you.
your ginger is affecting my ginger.
That's amazing. Because I actually want to give my viewers the very best too. I have to ask the right questions and show that, yeah, wow. I hope you're taking down notes. So don't just be watching me. I know,
So I think one of the things before I go to speak about why branding is very important. There are a lot. I think um, working with startups and noticing some of the basic mistakes startups do when it gets to starting their business is downplaying on branding their businesses.
Amazing.
I think branding is a key part of the business development process,
Okay.
of which I think because it has to do with
Okay.
your identity, who you are.
All right.
So if you're starting a business, your brand should be the key factors. A lot of people say, leave branding when, first of all, focus on what we are producing when it gets big. But I tell you what, if you take a bottle of Coke, what is the brand? Everything is the brand, including the content inside
Yeah,
that
true.
you drink is part of the brand.
Amazing.
So, probably things should change if you're starting a business or you're just a startup. It is very, very key. I read a book a couple of years back by Simon Sinek, Start with Why.
Starts with why.
Start with Why. You should get that book. Very good book.
Amazing.
In fact, it designs it 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 explains a lot about your intentions and why you do what you do.
Okay.
So, if you take an Apple phone, for instance, or a case study of Apple, the design, the feel, everything, it's a story, it's a narrative they are telling.
Yeah.
They are not just built on functionality,
Okay.
they are built on ideals.
Okay.
So, the differentiation of your product doesn't start from the design, the differentiation starts from your intent.
Your intent.
And that's where branding starts from your intent. If your
Okay.
intent is right, your product
Will be
will be
right.
right.
Amazing.
Part of the reasons why branding is important is because our brains are designed to notice things that are different.
Okay. All right.
Things that are different. So in the branding process, is actually differentiation. I said there's difference between a brand.
Mm-hmm.
There's difference between a brand and branding.
Okay.
So branding is a process,
Yeah.
where a brand is more of a gut feeling people have about your product.
Yeah. True.
So branding is actually the process of differentiating your business, your product to stand out from other commodities.
True.
So if your product is differentiated, is going to have a higher value.
Okay.
You will not just be transacting based on quality or convenience,
True.
but you'll be transacting based on a deeper ideology you're selling. I tell you what, in marketing, there are three basic kinds of products.
Okay.
There's what's called the true product.
True product.
There's what's called a commodity
Okay.
product and a branded product. A
Okay.
true product is a product that going to the market, let's say it never existed before.
Yeah, true.
For instance, pure water.
Yeah.
Before there was ice water
Yeah.
and there was bottled water.
Yeah.
Someone discovered pure
Sure.
water out of the need that was born for it.
Yeah.
So when he brought pure water into the market, there was no competition. So what he was emphasizing was not his brand; he was emphasizing on the product.
Yeah.
People to accept the product.
Yeah.
So after the true product enters the market, you begin to see that people begin to copy. So you now have different people producing one thing.
Yeah.
So it now becomes a commodity product.
Okay.
It's a commodity.
Yeah.
So in the customer's eyes, all of them are the same.
True.
So he'll either patronize you based on price, quality, or convenience.
True.
So as a commodity,
Wow.
there are a lot of commodities in the market. Then when you see that everything is looking the same, then you need to differentiate your own.
Product.
So either you distort the features, create something, that's where branding comes in.
Granted.
So you now see that a lot of startups, they think they look different, but in the eyes of the audience or the market, they are just commodities.
Yeah.
So they patronize you based on price, based on quality, or
Convenience.
convenience.
Wow. Amazing.
So, but if your product is branded, you can set the price of your product.
Yeah.
Apple is the only phone that, in fact, the more expensive it is, the more people buy
Want it. Yes.
because
True.
it's branded. They are not
Yeah.
selling to you. They're not just selling the phone to you. They're not selling its functionality. They are selling ideals. They are selling
An
a
experience,
brand,
actually.
an experience.
Yeah.
They are selling an identity.
An identity. Yeah. Actually, I really really agree with that because honestly, before I started using Apple phones, I was using normal Android phones. I was like, I beg Apple is overrated, kiniko, kiniko. But honestly, I don't think I can go back to using Android phone because the experience, the functionality, everything is so different.
So different.
Like using an app, I don't know. Let me not act like I'm trying to see how I'm talking about it like it's my product.
In fact, I tell you what, in 2007, Apple changed their name from Apple Computers to Apple Incorporated.
Yeah.
They said they were not a computer company, they were a company that believes in certain ideals. So they're not defining themselves by what they did,
Yeah.
they're defining themselves by what they believe.
I think I really understand the perception of building a brand story rather than just giving out a product,
Yeah.
And I like how you explain that if I walk into this room and everything is black and I probably see something yellow, I would first see that yellow thing because it stands out from everything that is regular. So that's what branding does for you actually. It makes you stand out in the midst of competition.
Yeah.
Now, because you're not just selling a product to your customers or your consumers actually. You are selling the experience to them. That's the reason why you can go to Transcorp and pay 60 something, 70 something thousand naira a night and you will not go to some raggedy hotel to pay that amount because it's not just about the hotel, it's about the experience,
Yeah.
it's about the service, it's about the story.
Story.
That's honestly, I hope that my viewers are learning a thing or two because this is
It's
really,
about the narrative.
yes, the narrative. It's really just boggling my mind and just I'm just super excited about having this conversation with you. Wow, that's amazing.
And let me say something. There's actually a slight difference between a story and a narrative.
Okay.
There's difference. So
Story.
branding
Narrative.
doesn't just deal with storytelling;
Okay.
it deals with narratives.
Okay.
The story is actually a series of events, a structured series of events. Whereby you have a situation, you have a complication, and you have a resolution.
Yeah, true. Correct.
But a narrative is a story with a point of view.
Oh. Oh yes. Now that's the point of view that
That is
they
point
want
of
you to
view.
see.
Yeah. If I own a brand, there's a point of view I want
Want you
people
to
to see.
see.
That's where perception
Amazing.
comes in.
Amazing. When I think I was in I think first or second year that time at university, and then there's also something called I think snob approach in
Okay.
branding. It's like when Guinness say something like Guinness a beer for kings. Now they're saying that if you don't drink Guinness, you're not a
Like,
king. So it's a snob approach. They're snubbing every other beer brand.
crazy.
It's like brands telling you that you are this if you associate with my brand.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like as you're speaking, I'm
Yeah.
just
It's
connecting the dots and
narrative.
everything. It's amazing. It's beautiful. So the most important thing about branding is not just that it's telling a story, it's that it is telling a narrative. This is what I am, and this is what I want you to perceive
Think about.
me
Yeah.
as. This is amazing. Honestly, I don't want this video to go on forever and just I know this is not boring at all. I've learned so much, and I know that if you learn a thing or two from this and apply it, you can actually do so much more and so much better with your brand, be it a personal brand, be it a product or something that you're selling. And if you need a brand consultant, he's your guy. Brand right, stains and stones.
Check staneandstones.com or Instagram stains and stones. You.
Yeah. So don't worry, I'll put all that in the description box so you can reach out to him if you need someone to help with your brand image. So before I go, I'd like to give a shout out to my friend of Trish Glam. The accessories that I have on me is from Trish Glam Accessories. You can check them out on Instagram. Thank you so much, Joe Ode,
Thank
for
you.
coming on
Thank you
my
for having me.
YouTube channel. This is it's a rare privilege and I don't take it for granted.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, guys, please help me thank him. I'll be in the comments waiting for you to say something. Tell me what you learned from this video, and I hope that it's been educative. I told you I was going to be bringing you hot, important Jesus gossip. This is very important, of course, for many startups. So, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this video, and subscribe to this channel. I love you. See you on my next video. Please come over. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.